Hi everyone. In this video, we are going to talk about Apache Kafka. So in any organization, when you start with any of the product development, how it gets started? So you start with a single source and a single destination. So your data start flowing from one source to the destination. And this looks quite simple. But as it grows, you keep on adding more product feature to the platform, things start getting complicated because here you have a lot of sources and here we are considering three sources and you have a different destination. So one source may emit the data to multiple destination and same way one destination can receive a data from multiple sources. So if you do a little math over here, the total number of integration will always be a multiplication of source and a destination. So in this example, it's 3 into 3, which is equal to 9. Now here we need to consider one more thing is about the data contract. So the integration between the source and destination could also differ in terms of data type, in terms of data protocol. That also we need to see. Now how this complication can be removed. So the answer lies between the layer that we can introduce between the source and the destination, and that layer is of Apache Kafka. So it's an open source distributed event streaming platform. Here we are using it for deep coupling our system. So source and destination, here only source and destination, they can emit the messages. So either as a producer or as a consumer. So if they are emitting the messages, they call it as a producer. If they are receiving those messages, they treat it as a consumer. Now, let's get deep dive into the history of Apache Kafka. So Apache Kafka introduced by LinkedIn in 2008. They got this system into production as a publish subscribe messaging system in 2010. Then after in 2011, it got into incubation under Apache Kafka. So LinkedIn make it open source. And then in 2012, it becomes Apache top level project. Between 2012 and 2014, there are some expanding on the use cases and version 0.8. So that becomes a first broader adoption in 2013 by many of the Fortune 500 companies. Then it gains an increase popularity between the 2014 and 2016. Many companies are start using it in production or in their POCs. And then with the Apache Kafka 1.0, where they have a matured API or a matured layer of integration that comes up in 2017. And going after developments and advancement are going on from 2018 until present. And if you see it today, it is the most widely used streaming platform in any of the Fortune 500 company. So some of the company, if you want to see which are using Apache Kafka in production, it could be Intuit, LinkedIn, and Netflix, and many more. So now let's talk about what is Apache Kafka. So Apache Kafka, as I stated earlier, it's a distributed event streaming platform. So that publishes and subscribe to streams of event like any messages queue or enterprise messaging system. It stores streams of event in a fault tolerant durable way. It processes streams of event as they occur. Now if you notice one thing, here we had talked everything about event only. So let's try to understand what do we mean by event by an example. So event means anything that occurs in that time and we are capturing that data in a real time. So we are calling that as an event. So if we look into the example of ride share system, so you might see the following event. So you have an event key, which is Alice. You have an event value. So trip requested at this work location and event timestamp. So June 25th, 2020 at 2:06 p.m. So here we are capturing who has generated that event and at what timestamp we got that event into our system. Now let's talk broadly talked about use cases of Apache Kafka. So Apache Kafka is widely used in log aggregation where you want to get the data from multiple locations and get the centralized log mechanism on top of that. It can also be used as a event streaming and processing. So if you want to have a data coming through events, you want to store that, you want to capture that data as a streaming, and you want to do some analytics on top of that. It can also be used as a messaging and communication. As I said, it is widely used in a pub sub model where you have a publisher and a subscriber. They are sending the data and consuming it back then. It is widely used in data integration and ETL pipeline also, where you need to run a batch queries or maybe a real-time queries on top of that. And here you want to use it for doing some kind of a analytics, or maybe you want to generate some value out of the data. It also used in terms of a metrics monitoring. Suppose one system is running, you want to capture some of the metrics in real time. That is also there. You can also do the analytics that can be done also in real time. And there are some cases of the IoT data processing where sensors are keep on emitting the data in real time. You want to capture that data and you want to do again analytics on top of that. That is also one of the use case. Event sourcing is also one of the use case, like you have a data based system, and from there you want to emit records to the another and to the different system or to the different destination. And then we talk about the change data capture. Suppose you have a database and you are making any changes to those database. So either you are updating, you are deleting the record. So those can also be captured as a change data capture. Then we talk about the social media activity tracking. Here, if you have a think about a Twitter, so you are getting a feeds which are in real time. You can capture those feeds also. And in the financial transaction processing, so like if you heard about the credit card, so if you want to understand what is the credit card system, when it got swiped, and you want to do a fraud detection on top of that, that is also one of the popular use case of Apache Kafka. So that's all for this video. I'll see you in next video. Thank you.